So now let's talk about DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a fully managed, highly available database with replication across 3 availability zones. It is part of the NoSQL database family, so it's not a relational database. DynamoDB is one of the flagship products of AWS. It scales to massive workload, and it's a distributed serverless database. That means that we don't provision any servers. With RDS or with Elasticache, we need to provision a instance type, but with DynamoDB, we don't, so it's called a serverless database, but there are still servers in the backend, we just don't see them. So DynamoDB is great because it scales to millions of requests per second, trillions of rows, and hundreds of terabytes of storage. It has fast and consistent performance, and so anytime you need a single-digit millisecond latency with low latency retrieval, DynamoDB is the database for you. So you would be looking for keywords in your exam, such as serverless and low latency, for example, single-digit millisecond latency. It is integrated with the IAM for security, authorization, and administration, has low cost and auto-scaling capabilities, and finally, a standard and infrequent access IA table class based on how you want to classify your data for cost saving. So the question you may have is, what type of data goes into DynamoDB? Well, it's a key value database, and the data looks like this. You have a primary key, which is made of 1 or 2 columns, a partition key and a sort key, and then attributes on the right-hand side, where you can define your own columns for your data. Finally, all the items are going to be row by row, and this is how a DynamoDB table works. Very, very simple, but again, remember, it's a NoSQL database. It has low latency retrieval of data, and you also get access to a serverless database. Then we have DynamoDB Accelerator, also called DAX in the exam. Both can be used. So it is a fully managed in-memory cache for DynamoDB. So this is a cache that's specific for DynamoDB, so it's not like Elasticache. So for example, say your application wants to access DynamoDB tables in DynamoDB. For this, if you want to cache the most frequently read objects, then you would use DAX or DynamoDB Accelerator as a cache in between. And DAX is made just for DynamoDB, okay? So you would not use Elasticache in this case, even though you could. You would use DAX because it's already really, really well integrated with DynamoDB. So this is going to give you a 10x performance improvement. So instead of single-digit millisecond latency to read records, you will have microseconds latency when accessing your DynamoDB tables. It's going to be fully secure, highly scalable, and highly available. And the difference with Elasticache, again, is that DAX is only used and is fully integrated with DynamoDB, whereas Elasticache can be used for other types of databases to provide caching capabilities. So that's it for this lecture. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture.